Eye opener. Of the over 300 million people, how are Joe Biden and Donald Trump the best two people to lead the United States of America out of the darkness? Both of those people and almost all of the people who ran against them have been in leadership roles during every year of this nation's decline. How could they be the best choices to run this country? And with Biden being forced out of the race, how could Kamala Harris be the best replacement that the Democrats could come up with? Not only is it crazy that the Democrats just put her in as their candidate, but it is mind-boggling that she was the best choice that they could come up with. That's like replacing a tortoise with a snail. Even if you had reservations about Vivek Ramaswamy or RKF Jr., you have to admit that those two would have been better than either Trump or Biden or Harris. This, however, is what should be expected when your country operates within the confines of an economic system that limits access to higher education to an ever-shrinking cohort of wealthy kids. This is what happens when you allow the cost of higher education to skyrocket beyond the means of more of your citizens year after year. America has experienced a brain drain that has an apparent correlation to the U.S. losing its dominance in manufacturing. Whether it is innovations in technology or creating more efficient industrial practices, limiting these advancements to 1% of the population, or more accurately, making it so cost-prohibitive as to limit opportunities to the rich, it matters little when the outcome is so bad. Instead of setting an example for the rest of the world, the United States can only play catch-up. Actually, the United States can't even play catch-up. These days, all America can do is play fall behind, and it plays that role spectacularly. Come to think of it, America does set one standard for the rest of the world: war. No one does war like America today. If we're not fighting the wars ourselves, we're pushing for them through proxies like Ukraine or Israel, as we provoke places like Iran and all the countries listed in the doctrine put forth by the Project for the New American Century. The link is below, but in it, members like Dick Cheney and George W. Bush sought to attack 7 countries in the Middle East. To date, I think all of the countries listed within, except for Iran, have been attacked by the United States. I remember reading that doctrine years before they started conflicts in most of those countries and thinking it was a hoax or a conspiracy theory, but then I heard about Smedley Butler, John Perkins, and other whistleblowers who exposed America's role in the ruination of so many countries around the globe. I even documented in the book, referenced below, some of the most egregious activities carried out in the name of the American people around the world. This then led to tracing every one of America's biggest problems back to a single source: money. The one commonality that persists throughout every ill that threatens America standing in the world. Every problem America faces today leads right back to money and the injustices people are willing to perpetrate in its pursuit. In regards to America's brain drain, consider the ramifications of giving the majority of your population the following choices in regard to going to college or university. You can either avoid college and university, or you can graduate with a burden of debt equivalent to a 30-year mortgage. This in turn means that an average college graduate would need to earn double of what someone with their degree made a decade or two ago to go to college and own a home. The only option for these potential college students, then, is to either avoid college and get the house that is still unaffordable these days, or get the degree and live with your parents until they die. I don't know about you, but it's been my experience, anecdotal though it may be, that when an American who lives with their parents into their 40s and 50s, that person is not well. This may only be my experiences, but not having the choice to move out is not conducive to healthy mental or emotional development. That is, at least in America. Of course Americans can continue on the course we've been on for the past 20 years. More war that only serves to make weapons manufacturers richer. More redistribution of wealth that only benefits a small cohort of sociopaths. Less freedom and more censorship, which only serves those who seek to maintain control, influence, and power over the rest of us. More of the immoral things we allow others to do as a means to continually steal our liberty, wealth, and future. Or we can put an end to it all. The last choice is why Chris Osman wrote his book. In 2018, Chris Osman wrote a book highlighting the problems humanity would face if more power, wealth, and control were funneled to a small cohort of individuals, groups, or organizations. In that book, Mr. Osman provided solutions from himself and others to the inevitable problems we would all face. In it, he also provided a means for the public to analyze, compare, and contrast the words and deeds of those we've chosen to follow against our real-world experiences. To this end, Mr. Osman provides the means for readers to disseminate information as provided by their news sources of choice, their elected officials, and any other authority they choose to follow. The book, titled Solutions, Enough Complaining, Let's Fix America, offers a means to hold leaders up to not just a higher standard than is currently accepted, but one that will improve lives. Don't stick with the crowd. Click the link below and get your copy today.